introduce myself, my name is Pirrou. I'm a fairy who is interested in psychology. In this episode, I want to explain the 5 stages of grief with the example from the TV series WandaVision. But before we explain it more further, if you want to see more of my other content, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss my other content. Let's get this video started! Boo-ba! The circle of life will always turn. In every life, there will be life and there will also be death. And when the time comes when we lost a loved one, the pain we experience can feel unbearable. Well, grief is complicated. We will go through a lot of emotional experiences such as anger, confusion, and sadness, and sometimes we will wonder if the pain will ever end. Before I explain the stages of grief that on the show, I will explain to you a little bit of detail about the 5 stages of grief. There is a theory made by psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross that suggests we go through 5 distinct stages of grief when we lost a loved one, which is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, let's look at each stage with the example that we see on the WandaVision series. The first stage of this theory is denial. When our mind still tries to process that we just lost a loved one, we also try to survive the emotional pain. Our reality starts to change when we lost our loved one. Our minds will take time to adjust to this new reality, and most of the time we're not ready for it. Denial helps us minimize the overwhelming pain of the loss and makes us slow it down. In the WandaVision series, we clearly can see when Wanda is on this stage. She even makes a new reality that she lives where Wanda and Vision lives together, happy and having their children. And on the other scene, we can see when there's a crack in her reality because of another person from the outside trying to ruin her perfect life. She quickly rewinds it so she has the imagery of the ideal world that she wants. And the second stage is anger. It is okay to experience anger after we lost a loved one, because we are trying to adjust to a new reality when we know we won't see them again. And we are likely experiencing extreme emotional discomfort. We need to feel anger because anger is a necessary stage of the healing process. In one of the scenes where Geraldine talks to Wanda about Wanda's brother Pietro, we can see that Wanda becomes angry and throws her out of the hex because Geraldine disturbs the false happiness reality that she creates. And on the other scene, when the drone tries to rocket Wanda, she breaks it and lashes her anger and threatens them with her power while saying, "I have what I want and no one will take it away from me again." Brr. It still gives me chill.
What do you want? I have what I want.
The third stage is bargaining. When we lose someone, sometimes we want life to return to what it was. We may even try to bargain with the pain. And we will try to do anything not to feel the pain of this loss. And when Vision says the reality that Wanda made is wrong and asks to change it back as before, Wanda tries to persuade Vision that she's doing it for their happiness. And when Pietro comes to Wanda's life but with a different appearance, Wanda tries to accept it even though somehow she knows that the man in front of her is not the real Pietro. She tries to bargain with the reality and accept him. But in some studies, say that when we lost someone, the detail of memory recall can get fuzzy. So, Wanda seems to forget how her brother looks, and perhaps she thinks her power have been acting out again.
Wow, that is so lame.
After the bargaining stage, our attention will move slowly into the present, and now we're coming to the stage 4, which is depression. We will feel the empty feelings and grief enters our life on a deeper level, deeper than we ever imagined. During our time to process grief, there will come a time when we slowly start to look at reality, and we will feel that bargaining is no longer feel like an option. We are faced with what is happening. We can see it clearly when Wanda saw the parts of the vision body that were scattered and separated, and when she went to the Westfield and saw the empty lot where their house was supposed to be. She lashed out her power and made a new reality because she knew that the present was unavoidable.
Intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
And the last stage of the grieving process is acceptance. When we come to a place of acceptance, it is not that we no longer feel the pain of loss. However, we are no longer resisting the reality of our situation, and we are not struggling to make it something different. We could see here that Wanda comes to the stage when she finally sees that the world that she's living in is just her own made reality. Then, she realized that the realities that she made should be ended, so she starts to let it go, collapsing her own made reality even if she has to say goodbye to Vision and her kids. We can never replace what has been lost, but we can make a new connection, new meaningful relationship instead of denying our feelings. We listen to our needs, we move, we change, we grow, and we evolve. We may start to reach out to others and become involved in their lives. We will start to invest in our relationship with ourselves, and we begin to live again. But we cannot do so until we have given grief its time. So, that's it from Pirrou, and thank you so much for watching this video, and see you again next time. Bye!